project fell through. But I don't know if that has anything to do with their deaths.
That's new. Let's try to organize this better. Can I change the text size on this? Or is it just... make it brown for India? So maybe Maria Nicola wanted to... Do you know anything about the dancer Haley? That's not how you spell her name.
Yes. Haley Greenwood was a young woman who worked as a dancer at the Cabaret Violet. She was very talented and had a lot of potential, but from what I understand, she was also quite troubled. There were rumors that she was involved with some shady characters and that she was struggling with addiction.
Tell me about Count Graveson and his involvement. Be concise.
It is just so tragic that her life was cut short like that. Count Nikolai Graveson. He is a wealthy nobleman who owns Graveson Manor on the outskirts of Vaudeville. He was also part of that group that went to India with Maria and Nicola, but I don't know much about his involvement beyond that. But I do know that there were rumors of tension between him and Mrs. Potter.
What kind of tension? Sexual tensions? Most likely?
Well, from what I've heard, Count Graveson was quite interested in Mrs. Potter, and she seemed to be reciprocating his feelings. But then, after their trip to India, things changed. Mrs. Potter started spending more time with him, and some people even thought they were getting serious. But others didn't think it was a good idea at all. There were rumors of jealousy and resentment building up around them. But I don't know if any of that has anything to do with...
Why does everyone keep saying that? Anything happening seems to be involved. Tell me about Mrs. Potter and her involvement.
Yes. Mrs. Emily Potter is the widow of Mr. Victor Potter, who passed away in India. She is a wealthy heiress and has been involved in some business ventures with Maria and Nicola. But from what I understand, she was also quite close to Count Graveson, which caused some tension among the group. Some people thought it was unseemly for her to be so involved with him so soon after her husband's death.
That's very suspicious, wouldn't you say? Awfully suspicious, wouldn't you say?
Yes, I would say that. It all seems very suspicious and complicated. but I don't know if any of it is actually relevant to the murders. Do you think we should be careful about what we say here? I wouldn't want anyone to overhear us discussing this.
Fair enough. Can you tell me why it is so hard to find a country club? No one knew about it.
Ah, yes. The Vaudeville Country Club. Well, that is an exclusive club for the wealthy and influential people of Vaudeville. It's not easy to get in, and even fewer people know about its existence. But I suppose that's what makes it so appealing to those who do manage to get an invitation.
What is your involvement with this trip to India and this business?
Oh no, I wasn't involved in the trip to India or the
I
business
wasn't.
venture. I was just a friend of Maria's, and we would attend social events together. And I did hear about the tensions that arose during their trip, and how it all fell apart in the end.
Okay. Anything else I should ask about? Where were you that night? Or those nights of the murders?
Ah, yes. I was at home alone. I didn't go out that night or any of the other nights when the murders occurred.
Makes sense.
I was too shocked and upset by what happened to Maria to even think about going out. And besides, I didn't know anyone who would want to hurt her. Or anyone else for that matter.
You go to the library often, do you not?
Ah, yes. The library. Yes, I do visit the library quite often. I love books and learning new things, and the library is one of my favorite places in Vaudeville.
Have you heard about these rooms that grow around Blackwoods?
No, I haven't heard anything about those mushrooms growing around Blackwoods. But I do know that Blackwoods is a beautiful area with lots of nature and wildlife.
Really?
It is one of my favorite places
It's the
to take
opposite
a
of
walk
what
or
I've
go for a
heard.
ride on horseback.
I feel like I'm not getting much out of this. What is your involvement with the murders?
I'm just an entrepreneur and investor, trying to make a living in this beautiful city of Vaudeville. I was friends with Nicola Grossman, one of the victims, and I'm still trying to come to terms with his passing. I've been cooperating fully with the police investigation, but I don't have any information that could help them catch the killer. I'm just a concerned citizen who wants justice for my friend and the other victims.
Tell me about this trip to India that you guys went on.
Yes, a trip to India. It was a complicated experience, to say the least. We were all supposed to be evaluating the possibility of starting the business together in India, but things didn't quite go as planned. There were tensions among us, and I think it's safe to say that not everyone was on the same page. I remember Nicola being particularly upset during the trip. He seemed worried and paranoid, almost. And Mr. Potter and Count Grace had some heated discussions, let's say, but I never thought anything of it at the time. We were all just trying to make a deal happen, you know, but looking back, I can see that things might have been more serious than we realized. Nicola was definitely changed after the trip. He became withdrawn and isolated, and he stopped coming to our social events.
What was the disagreement
It's
about?
like he was carrying some kind of burden around with him. I don't know if any of this is relevant to the investigation, but I thought it might be worth mentioning. Well, I'm not entirely sure, to be honest. It seemed like Mr. Potter and Count Grayson were having some kind of disagreement about the business deal, but I never really got a clear sense of what it was about. They would get into these heated arguments, but they would always calm down afterwards and pretend that everything was fine. But looking back, I think maybe there was more to it than just a simple business
Yeah, you
disagreement.
fucking think so?
Nicola seemed genuinely upset by something that happened during the trip, and I think Mr. Potter and Count Grayson might have been hiding something from us. It's all very confusing, to be honest. But I do know that things were tense between them after the trip, and I'm not sure if it was just a coincidence that Nicola ended up being one of the victims.
You're telling me you were on a trip and you didn't know what this argument was about? Who would... Okay, let me rephrase that. Who would know what the argument was about? I need details.
Well, I think Michelle Fisher might have some insight into what was going on during the trip. She was part of our little group, and she seemed to be getting along with everyone pretty well. Maybe she overheard something or saw something that could help us figure out what happened. But I should warn you, Detective Michelle can be a bit difficult to get information out of. She's very private and likes to keep her own counsel.
What
You might need
did
to work hard to get her to open up to you.
Nicola and Count Graveson have arguments about? I need details.
Ah, that's... Nicola Grossman and Count Nikolai Graveson had some disagreements during their trip to India. From what I understand, they were both very passionate about the business venture, but they had different ideas about how to make it work. There was a lot of tension between them, especially after things started to go wrong. But I don't know if that has anything to do with their deaths.
What was this business venture for?
Ah, that's... The business venture. It was supposed to be some kind of joint investment opportunity in India. Maria and Nicola were going to invest in a new textile mill or something like that. And Count Graveson was also involved, I think. But from what I understand, things didn't go as planned during their trip, and the project fell through.
Is that all you can tell me?
Ah, yes. I think that is all I can say for now. I don't want to speculate or spread rumors about anything. But I do hope you find out who did this and bring them to justice. It is just so senseless and tragic.
I want to help find justice as well. Please tell me more if you can.
Ah, yes. I think that is all I can say for now. But I do hope you find out who did this and bring them to justice. It is just so senseless and tragic.
Fuck, man. I need to know about the specific disagreement Count Graveston had with the other two that died.
Ah, yes. I think it was something about a business deal or investment opportunity. But I don't know the specifics. I really shouldn't be saying this much.
Does anyone fucking know? Hmm. How do I hide this? I shouldn't be saying much, she says. So, Graveson killed, possibly killed, had the other two killed. Because of the disagreement, including Mr. Potter. Possibly. Right? Hmm. Use OBS as a virtual camera. That way you can control your stream via OBS. Hmm. Camera. I just leave that. What do we know about this guy? Weren't you a partner with Nicola?
Yes, I was an investor in some of Nicola's projects. We had a good working relationship, and I respected his business acumen.
Really?
But I never thought of myself as his partner in the classical sense. We were more like colleagues or friends who did business together. But even though our professional relationship was cordial, I have to admit that things got a bit complicated after the trip to India. Nicola started acting strangely, and I began to wonder if he was hiding something from me. But I never thought it would end in tragedy. I'm still trying to process what happened, Detective. It's all so surreal.
Right. Good business relationship, never thought as a partner. That's not helpful. Did you and Nicola have a disagreement? Did you and Nicola have any disagreements?
Yes. Well, I wouldn't say we had disagreements per se, but we did have some differences of opinion. Nicola was a very driven person, and sometimes he could be quite intense. He would get passionate about his ideas, and that could lead to some lively discussions. But I think our biggest disagreement was over the direction of his business ventures. I believe that he was taking too many risks, and that it was only a matter of time before things went wrong. But Nicola was convinced that he had a vision for the future, and that he could make it happen. Of course, in hindsight, it's clear that my concerns were justified. But at the time, I just thought we were having a normal business disagreement.
What the hell is this? Hmm. What do you know about Saxabar?
Monsieur Saxabar. He's a fascinating fellow, isn't he? The director of the circus, Saxabar, and quite the entrepreneur in his own right. I've heard that he's been involved in some shady dealings, shall we say. But I don't know if there's any truth to those rumors. He seems like a charming fellow, but you can never be too sure what's going on behind the scenes. But I do know that he was part of our little group that went to India.
Sounds like
And I've
Nicola
heard
had
that
a
he and
disagreement
Nicola
with
had some
everybody.
disagreements during the trip. But I don't know if that's relevant to the investigation or not. I'm just a simple businessman, detective.
Everybody
I don't get
says
involved
that.
in all the intrigue and politics of the city. But I do know that Saxabar is someone who knows how to make an impression.
What about Graveson?
Ah, Count Grayson. Yes, interesting fellow, isn't he? The owner of Graveson Manor, and quite the collector of rare and unusual items. I've be heard that he's been involved in some questionable activity, shall we say. But I don't know if there's any truth to those rumors. He seems like a charming fellow, but you can never be too sure what's going on behind the scenes. But I do know that he was part of our little group that went to India. And I've heard that he and Nicola had some disagreements during the trip. But I don't know if that's relevant to the investigation or not. I'm just a simple businessman detective. I don't get involved in all the intrigue and politics of
Where
the
were
city.
you on the murders?
But I do know that
On the
Graveson
night
is
of the
someone who knows
murders?
how to make an impression. Ah, yes. I was at the Vaudeville Country Club on both nights. I had
Really?
dinner with some friends and then watched the tennis match. I didn't leave until around midnight, but I don't think that's relevant to the investigation, detective.
Can
I'm just a
anyone
witness, not a
confirm
suspect.
this?
Ah, yes. Michelle Fisher was with me at the Vaudeville Valley Country Club on both nights. She can probably confirm my alibi, but I'm sure you'll want to speak with her yourself, detective. She's a very interesting person.
Do you frequent the club?
Ah, yes.
Fuck.
I do enjoy spending time at the Vaudeville Country Club. It's a wonderful place to relax and socialize with friends. And of course, it's always exciting to see who might be there from the world of business and politics. But between you and me, detective, I
Do
do
you
have some
frequent the Cabane
connections at the club that
Violette?
can be very useful for a businessman like myself. Let us just say that I have been able to use my membership to get ahead in certain ways. Ah, yes. the Cabang Violet. That essay. Interesting place, isn't it? I do enjoy going there to see some of the entertainment they offer. But I wouldn't say that I frequent it per se, although I did go there once or twice with Haley Greenwood before she passed away. She was a lovely young woman, and we had some good times together.
Tell me about Saxabar. Hello?
Ah, yes. Monsieur Gillen Saxabar. He is a circus director who owns the Circus Saxabar in Vaudeville. He was also part of that group that went to India with Maria and Nicola, but I don't know much about his involvement beyond that.
Tell me about Graveson.
Ah, yes. Count Nikolaj Graveson. He is a wealthy nobleman who owns Graveson Manor on the outskirts of Vaudeville. He was also part of that group that went to India with Maria and Nicola, but I don't know much about his involvement beyond that.
Well, feel like we hit a dead end. Tell me about Piaggio next to us. Fuck, why is it?
Ah, yes.
He owns
Biagio
the
Ferrari is an
company.
entrepreneur and investor who owns the Cabin Violet Cabaret Theatre in Vaudeville. He was also part of that group that went to India with Maria and Nicola, but I don't know much about his involvement beyond that.
You keep saying that. Oh. Does a black coat, red scarf ring a bell?
Ah, yes. The black coat, red scarf ring? I don't know what you're talking about. Is it some kind of secret society or something?
God damn.
I really shouldn't be discussing
Have you
this.
seen anyone wearing a black coat and a red scarf?
No, I haven't seen anyone wearing a black coat and red scarf. But I do know that there are some people in Vaudeville who like to wear fancy clothes and accessories.
Let's take a guess.
Have you made up your mind, Detective Martini?
Let's take a gander. Haley Greenwood is the dancer. It was probably a guy. Could have been either of these two. Fuck, I don't know.
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
Business rivals? Love obsession? Let's focus on Maria for now. Was Maria romantically involved with anyone that you know of?
Yes. Maria was romantically involved with someone, but I don't think it was serious. She would often talk about him, but she never mentioned his name or what he did for a living. It seemed like a casual thing to her.
Who hated Maria the most?
Yes. I think Mrs. Potter might have had some issues with Maria. They didn't always get along, and there were rumors of jealousy between them. But I don't know if that has anything to do with Maria's death.
Okay. Where was Mrs. Potter during the India trip?
Yes. Mrs. Potter didn't go on the trip to India with the others. She stayed behind in Vaudeville, I think. But she did keep in touch with them through letters and telegrams.
Okay. Did Maria do anything with the other men on the trip?
Yes. I think Maria might have gotten a little too close to Count Graveson during their trip. Some people thought it was unseemly for her to be so involved with him, especially since she was still grieving over her husband's death. But I don't know if that has anything to do with her murder.
Interesting. Should we put that down? This is a mess. Okay. Let's talk to her. What did you think about Maria Jansen? Any day now.
Oh no. I didn't know Maria Jansen personally. I only heard about her through the grapevine. But I do know that she was a socialite who liked to go to parties and events. And I do know that Count Graveson has been acting very strangely lately. He has always been eccentric, but this time it seems different.
Aren't you and Graveson close?
Oh no. Count Graveson is just a friend of mine. We have a mutual interest in mushrooms and art, but that is all.
Don't we all?
And I don't see how our personal lives are relevant to the case anyway.
Anything personal will always be relevant, my dear Mrs. Potter. I heard Maria and Graveson got close during their trip to India. What do you think about that?
Oh no. I don't know anything about Maria Jansen and Count Graveson getting close during their trip to India. And even if they did, I don't see how that has anything to do with the murders or my husband's death.
Was that some made-up bullshit by the AI? Where were you during the trip to India?
Oh no. I wasn't on the trip to India. My husband went with some other people, including Count Graveson and Marcella Extaberia. I stayed here in Vaudeville.
Okay, makes sense. Tell me about the famous mushrooms of Vaudeville.
Oh yes. The famous mushrooms of Vaudeville are a specialty of mine. My husband and I used to go mushroom picking together all the time. And Count Graveson is also very interested in them. But I don't know if that has anything to do with the murders or not.
Yeah, I don't know either, motherfucker. This is getting nowhere. Fucking confusing. Who would have wanted to kill Maria? I'm still not sure. We're not there. She's on a business trip. Tell me about your disagreement with Nicola and Maria, the two people that died. Don't fucking lie to me.
Yes. Well, Detective, I suppose it is true that I had a bit of a disagreement with Nicola Grossman and Maria Jansen before their deaths. But please, don't jump to any conclusions or assume that I had anything to do with their murders. It was just a simple business dispute, nothing more.
What was this dispute about? I need to know.
Yes. Well, Detective, the dispute was over a rare artifact that I had acquired and Nicola Grossman wanted to buy from me. Maria Jansen was acting as his agent in the transaction, but things didn't go smoothly, and we ended up having a bit of a falling out. But again, please don't assume that this has anything to do with their murders. When did this happen? It was just a simple business dispute, nothing more. Yes. Well, Detective, I believe the disagreement occurred about a week ago, maybe less.
This was before the
Nicola
murders?
Grossman and Maria Jansen came to my manor to discuss the sale of the artifact, but things didn't go as planned, and we ended up having a bit of an argument.
Does this have to do with the trip to India?
Yes. Well, Detective, I suppose it does. The trip to India was actually a business venture that Nicola Grossman and Maria Jansen were involved in, along with myself and Victor Potter. We were all supposed to go together to evaluate the possibility of starting a new business there, but things didn't work out as planned, and we ended up having some disagreements about it.
Okay. Who has the artifact now?
This. Well, Detective, I believe the artifact is currently in my possession.
What?
But please don't think that this means I had anything to do with Nicola Grossman and Maria Jansen's murders. It was just a simple business dispute, nothing more. Yes. Well, Detective, I acquired the artifact during my trip to India with Victor Potter and the others. We were all supposed to go together to evaluate the possibility of starting a new business.
So it sounds like
but things didn't work out as planned, and we ended up having some disagreements about it. Yes. Well, Detective, I suppose that is correct. The sale did go through, and I ended up acquiring the artifact. But please don't think that this means I had anything to do with Nicola Grossman and Maria Jansen's murders. It was just a simple business transaction, nothing more.
I'm gonna have to look this shit up.
Let's see what you got, Detective Martini. Are you sure, Detective Martini? But why? So tell us, Detective Martini, who is the
would've wanted to
culprit?
kill Haley with a fucking shoe?
Interesting choice, Detective Martini. May I ask you why?
Who would have killed Maria with a shoe or Haley? Fuck, I'm gonna have to look this up.